Hello, welcome to Yoga Vinyasa Flow. Today we're going to have another one of those classes where we build up into split. So if you just heard that word and be like, oh, I can't do that, no worries. There will be an option for everybody. I recommend a block or two for this practice. I will give you a modified split version that you can use with a bolster or a cushion. So if you want to bring one of those in, you can. You can also do that same option with a stack of folded blankets. So you can also have that as well. I'm going to sit up on a blanket here and we're going to go ahead and get going. So nice tall spine to start, ears, shoulders, and hips in alignment. And just maybe wiggle a little bit here, just settling down. And notice if there's anywhere that you could soften just a little bit more. Is that going to be through the jaw, through the shoulders, through the hips? And then notice that breath. Is that breath anxious, calm, rapid, smooth, choppy? On an inhale, could you expand that rib cage as you inhale through the nose? And then slowly exhaling it out. Good. And we'll inhale. Slowly release. Or you can bring in that Ujjayi pranayama here, that back of the throat constriction, if you would like to bring that in. Otherwise, just breathe. We're going to do a few rounds here. Big inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen. Look up there at those hands. Exhale, hands in the heart center. So your intention is going to be your own today, whatever, resonates with you, whatever you'd like to dedicate this practice to or for. Yourself is always a good option. And once you have that set, take a big inhale and reach. Exhale, side bend towards that left and reach over. Good. Really reach over, really get into this area. Good. Arm comes up, go right into that other side and reach. Breathe and expand. Let's take that again, taking it back over and reach. You can stay here. You can choose to open up to the ceiling or maybe a C curve roll, forehead in the direction of the knee, but not touching. Inhale to open. Exhale, move through the other side. Good. Finding your stretch, choosing to stay here, opening up towards the ceiling, or finding that C curve roll. Good. Now, it felt good to me to open up to the ceiling, so I'm going to come back and do that one. And then from here, good. We'll reach and come back up and reach and gentle rotation towards the left. Long spine here, rolling shoulders back, looking behind you. Breathe and expand. Inhale and lift. Exhale, center. Inhale, exhale, coming down, rolling shoulders back, looking a little bit behind you. And inhale to lift, and exhale, coming back to center. Good. Yeah, any little movement here that would feel good to you. So I often take my hands to my knees, letting my arms be long. Good. And just do a few little spinal rolls here. And I use my arms and knees as a little bit of leverage, a little bit more opening. Good. And if you took that one, just reverse. And then when you're ready, good. Let's go into just a real quick shoulder opener here, taking hands in front, clasping hands, press away and around. Trying to separate those shoulder blades. And then from here, we'll do that version of that towards the back. So I'm just going to come off my blanket here for a moment. Good. So you can come here, you can clasp, you can press down, you can roll the shoulders back and lift. Find what feels good to your shoulders. For me, it feels good to me to just be right here right now. So that's where I'm going to stay. I'm rolling my shoulders back. I'm taking my elbows back behind me so I can get that stretch in the front of my shoulders. Good. And then when you're ready, good. Shake that out, wiggle around. We're going to come to all fours. So you can bring in a knee cushion here if you need one for this one. And my knees are wanting a cushion today. So I'm going to take that. I'm just going to come right here. Okay. So I'm going to spread my fingers wide, rooting through the knuckles with pinky, pointer, and thumb. Good. I'm pushing that floor away, so I'm nice and protracted. Good. My knees are under my hips. They can be slightly wider if you've got a back issue. Tops of the feet are down. And look between the knees. You should not see your feet in here. So they should be right in alignment with the knees here too. So pressing away, belly button is in. Inhale, take that chest forward, looking forward, tipping pelvis back, nice cow pose. Exhale, press away and round, mad cat pose. Inhale, round into cat or cow. Good. Exhale, round. Now we're coming into cat. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now let's get into the hips just a little bit here. We're just going to make some hip circles. So I'm just going to go to one direction and I'm just going to kind of move in a circle here. My belly button is still in. Good. Let's take that in the opposite direction. Now I'm moving at a pretty steady pace. You might need to move slower, and that's okay. Now this can also be done on the forearms if that's an option that you need. Good. And then from here, we'll come back up. One more time. Big cow pose. Big cat pose. Good. Let's come into a child's pose here. Knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. You can make the big toes touch or not on this one. Hips are going to shift back towards the ankles. You can take your arms long in front of you, or if your shoulders don't want that yet, you can take your hands back by the ankles, letting shoulders release. Forehead can come to the floor or to a block or a folded blanket. Good. And then just breathe here. Belly button is zipped up and in. We're expanding that rib cage. And then when you're ready, hands will come under the shoulders and we'll come up. Good. And then from here, good. We're back at table. We're going to make our way to downward facing dog. So if you're taller, take a half a hand's width or full hand's width forward. If you're shorter, stay where you are. I'm going to tuck my toes. I'm going to shift my hips back. I'm pressing in and forward into my hands, still rooting through the knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. As I lift my hips and knees, I'm going to take them up higher and move my blanket out of the way. Good. And then I'm going to check myself for my best down dog form. So I'm pressing in and forward into my mat. I'm pressing the shoulders away from my ears. Okay. My elbows are going to turn more towards my pointer and middle finger. My head and neck is free, so my ears are by my biceps. I'm pressing evenly into big toe and pinky toe mounds of my feet. My hips, knees, and toes are in relative alignment, so they don't have to be perfect. And maybe you have a micro bend in the knees. Good. You can bend and stretch. The deeper the bend, the harder you make it. You can walk the dog, bending one knee at a time. Good. You can come high on the toes and drop the heels. Find what you need. And then from here, when you're ready, from your downward facing dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk or step the feet forward to meet the hands. Good. So from here, you can come to blocks if you can't touch the floor. Remember, we've got 3 heights. You'll probably see me using these today just because they feel good. Good. So I'm just going to inhale, lift and lengthen halfway, long spine. Exhale and bow. Again, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root into the feet, engage the glutes, long spine as you come up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, intention. All right, let's continue our warm-up here. Losing my pants, losing my shirt. Good. Let's go through a few sun salutations. So from here, big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway, long spine. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, plant the hands. Step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. Remember, the flow part, the vinyasa part is optional. You can always skip that part if you need to. Hanging out in plank, working on that, dropping to a child's pose, or taking a down dog. From the down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And inhale and we'll lift. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, plant the hands. Step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. I'm going to skip this one. Finding your good breath. If the Ujjayi pranayama is in your practice, you can bring that in here at any time. Always returning to breath and intention. From your down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain intention. One more time. Inhale and we'll lift. Exhale and we'll fold. Remember, you can always bend those knees as needed as you fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. From that downward facing dog when you're ready. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, long spine as we lift. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, intention. Good. All right, moving on. Let's add on to that. Big inhale and we reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. From this bow, good, I am going to grab my block here. I'm going to step my left foot back. Good. And I'm going to find a right low lunge here. So as I step back, I'm pressing evenly into big toe and pinky toe mounds, maybe pressing through that heel. Good. This front knee is bent over behind the ankle. My front foot is flat. So if you're doing something like this, like I saw when I taught a class this morning, that foot needs to be over here. It'll also be a lot more comfortable if that's where you put your foot. Good. So lengthening the torso, right hip comes back. Good. Find that lunge. Now, if you absolutely cannot keep the left knee grounded, you can bring this down here. You're still working that hip flexor, still warming it up and stretching it out. Good. From here, you choose. The back knee can ground or lower. Left hand is going to be on the block or the floor. Let's open up to the right. Inhale, exhale, taking that down. Still strong through the back leg if you've got it lifted. Right hand to the block or to the floor. Open to the left. Taking that back down. Good. And blocks are going to come forward. Plant the hands. Front foot steps back. Take or skip a flow. Good. From the downward facing dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knee, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and bow. Excuse me here. Good. The voice is fading out. Good. From this bow, your right foot's going to step back now. You're coming into that left up runner. Remember, your blocks are 3 heights. Use what you need. Good. So they step back. I'm pressing evenly to that big toe and pinky toe mount. I'm pressing back through that heel. Good. I'm lengthening the torso here. Good. This knee is over behind the ankle. Long torso. Good. Breathe. Now again, if you need to, you can always lower this down. Just make sure that the knee is behind the hip, not under the hip. The knee is behind the hip, you're getting where we want. If it's under the hip, you're not really doing a whole lot there. So make sure that you are where you need to be. And then when you're ready, right hand's going to be on the block or to the floor. I'm going to lower my block a little bit here. Pressing up. Good. Opening up to the left. Could you really twist here? Press into the floor. Open up that left side. And taking that down. Good. Left hand to the floor, to the block. Good. Opening up. Good. Now, while you're here, notice for a moment, especially if your hand's on the block or the floor, what does this look like? Extended side angle, maybe, without the rotation in the back? Yeah. And we'll take that down. Good. From here, blocks are going to come forward. Plant the hands. Front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Finding that down dog, taking a couple breaths here. And when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, and tension. All right, let's add on to that. So again, we're going to come up, big inhale and reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Excuse me. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale. Good. Let's step or hop back into plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. I'm going to skip this one. And from your down dog, left leg's going to lift 3 points, bending that knee. Round the spine as you step or pick up and put that left foot forward between the hands. Good. I'm going to bring my blocks back in here. So we're back in that up runner that we were in before. This time I'm going to use the blocks to help me, and I'm just going to lengthen and come back into a bend. And lengthen and come back into the lunge. And lengthen and maybe hold that. So you want to lengthen, but you don't want to walk out with knees. I'm lengthening the torso here. My left hip is back, my right hip is forward. I'm still pressing evenly into big toe and pinky toe mount. That heel is not grounded. Good. Good. So we're in a pyramid variation here. Some of you will stay right here. Others will take hands or blocks more forward, finding that length. Ears by the bicep. The left hip is still back. And then when you're ready, good. I'm going to bring my hands and blocks back underneath my shoulders. I'm going to put a bend in that knee. Good. Now from here, I'm going to warrior prep that back foot. So my right hip, knee, and toes are going to turn out about 45-ish degrees. So find your alignment. Heel to heel, heel to arch. This leg can be out a little bit wider if you need that. Good. Left hip is back a little bit. Be strong as you rise. Warrior one. Good. Now, remember, it's more important for the back edge to be grounded. And if you need to kind of bend and stretch a little bit here, there's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that when you bend, you're not bending past your ankle there. So you still want to be able to see that toe. Good. Belly button is in. Left hip is back. Shoulders are relaxed. And when you're ready, I'm going to lengthen as I take my path to the mat, taking my blocks forward, planting my hands, swiveling up the back foot, front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Good. Good. From downward facing dog, when you're ready, we're going to take that to the other side. So right leg's going to lift 3 points, bending that knee. Round the spine as you step or pick up and put that right foot forward between the hands. So you're back in that up runner again. Good. Find it. Good. Now lengthen and bend. Lengthen and bend. Lengthen. Come back into, nope, we're going to stay lengthened. Sorry, you're wrong pose. Good. We've already done that one. So find the lengthen. Good. Right hip's going to come back. Good. And lengthen the torso. You can stay here. Or if you know you've got more depth, take that more forward. Good. And notice the difference between one side and the other. This is my tighter side today. I'm still pressing evenly into the big toe and pinky toe mount of that back foot. My back heel is not grounded yet. And then from here, I'm going to bring hands and blocks back in. Good. Coming back to that nice lunge. Now I'm going to warrior prep the left side. So find the alignment that's okay. Heel to heel, heel to arch, or a little bit wider. Good. And when you're stable, we'll rise. Good. Front hip will come back. Again, if you need to lengthen and bend, find it where you need to find it. Relaxing the shoulders, zipping up through that front body. When you're ready, lengthening as you take that path back to the mat, taking blocks forward if you use those, planting the hands, swiveling up the back foot, front foot steps back, take or skip a flow. And from that downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, one will bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, intention. All right, we're going to go into some warrior poses here, which will also come into a lizard pose, and we'll end the series with a dancer pose and a standing split for some of you. So we're going to start by just stepping back. So I'm going to start with my left foot forward. Good. And I'm going to step my right leg back. And I'm going to warrior prep it. Good. So again, find where you need your alignment to be. Is it going to be heel to heel? Heel to arch. Does this leg need to be a little bit wider? Good. Your front hip's going to come back a little bit here. Hips are at a 45 degrees angle. Good. And then without moving the hips, I'm just going to come into that little twist. Good. And reach. Hip, knee, and toe track forward. You should be able to look down and see that front toe. Good. When you're ready, good. Pressing back through the back with a bent front knee or a long front leg. Find what you need. Find your exalted. Inhale, exhale, finding warrior two. Good. Going into a triangle. So I'm going to lengthen this front leg. Front hip's going to come back. Back hip's going to come forward. I'm rooting my feet in. I'm going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. When you can come no more, take a thigh, take a shin, take the block, take a floor, and we'll open up. Good. And I'm still keeping length in that torso here. Remember, triangle is a twist. I'm focusing more on stacking my shoulders than a stacking of the hips. And then looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that front knee. Good. I'm going to swivel up the back foot. I'm going to let that right leg come down here. So if you need a cushion under that knee, feel free to take it. And actually, I do today. So I'm going to bring my blanket back in here. Sorry, that didn't go as smoothly as what I had in my head. Good. So from here, setting up for lizard pose. Good. So my knee is grounded. It's behind me. Different things you can do. You can take blocks on the inside at any height that you may need. That might be your lizard. You can have hands on the floor. Okay. You can take this leg out wider. Okay. Just wider. You can turn this hip, knee, and toe out in an external rotation. You can take forearms down to the block here. Good. Or you can take forearms down to the floor, which is what I'm going to choose here. Good. And I'm not collapsing here. I'm pushing that floor away with my shoulders. You can also roll onto the edge of the foot if that would feel good to you. And I'm going to breathe. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, from this lizard pose, good. If you went onto the edge of the foot, we're going to come back down. If you went onto the forearms, we're going to come back up. If you took your foot out wider, bring it back in line with the hip. And then from here, with or without your blocks, depending on your own body, come back to a half split pose. So half split, my hip's going to be over the knee. This leg, it can slide longer if you need it to do that. Just make sure you're not locked. And then with or without your block, good, long torso. You can take hands or blocks more forward if you've got a little bit more depth there. Remember, this half split, maybe not necessarily with the fold, but this half split is going to be one of the modifications you take for those of you that can't do a full split. And then from here, when you're ready, good, we'll take those blocks back up. Now, from here, I'm going to bring that left foot in, and I'm going to come onto my back. Yes. So transition, coming onto your back, crossing the left ankle over the right knee, taking it into a figure four. So you can stay here, or you can move through here. You can rock your figure four if you would like. Keep the upper body grounded. And then when you're ready, good. How you transition depends on your own body. Some of you are going to roll over to the side, come up and find your downward facing dog there. Others are going to cross the ankles, rolling up and finding your downward facing dog there. Good. While you're here, if you would like to move through into a belly down vinyasa, feel free to take it and just move through a plank. From that down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding the breath, the mountain, the intention. Good. Now, going into dancer, this will also go into standing split pose for those of you that want to attempt that. And if you're going to attempt that, I recommend having some blocks to the side. We're going to start on the left side first. So if you need to come up against a wall, you can always do that. We're going to do this in stages. Stop where your body needs you to stop. Left leg, hip, knee, and toe track forward. Left arm is up towards the ceiling. Rolling your right arm back. Some of you are just going to bend that knee. Now be careful here. If you're not stable with the foot down here, you won't magically be stable up high. So if this is where you need to work, then this is where you need to work. Okay? So you can be here. You can press back if you want to get that. Maybe you bind. You can also hold onto your pants. Knees into the side of the body. Good. Squeezing that glute, taking that foot back. You can be there, or you can be here. My belly button is in. There's no crunching in the spine. My knee is in. It's not out to the side. Some of you will stay here or come out. Others are going to keep going, carefully releasing, maybe hands to the blocks or to the floor, finding a standing split pose. Maybe one hand comes behind. So you want to be careful not to turn out here if you're doing standing split. That's going into half moon. Standing split is just like a split. So hips, knees, and toes are facing the floor. And then from here, when you're ready, that back leg's going to come up, meeting the front, coming all the way up here. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to take that whole big series to the other side now. So starting, let me come over here, with warrior 2. So your right leg is going to be the front leg. The left leg's going to step back. Good. Find your warrior prep position. Find your alignment. Heel to heel, heel to arch, or a little bit wider. Good. Front hip's going to come back. Good. I'm pressing through the back edge of the foot. Good. Now, torso only opens to the side and reach. Good. Looking over that front middle finger. Watch your tracking here. Inhale, exhale, a bent front knee or a lengthened front leg. Take it back into exalted. If you did an arm bind or an arm wrap on the other side, maybe find that here. And when you're ready, good. Finding warrior 2. Preparing for triangle. Lengthening that front leg. Front hip comes back hip comes forward. Root in the feet. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Long torso. When you can come to far, take a thigh, take a shin. You can take the floor. You can take a block. I don't think I need a block here today. Good. On the side, and then we'll just open. Good. So right hip is back. Torso's long. Consider more of a stacking of the shoulders. Okay, now looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that front knee. We're going to cartwheel this down, swiveling up the back leg. Good. And we're just going to take that knee back. Good. I don't need a blanket on the side, so I'm good. So set up for lizard on the side. So you can be here, both hands on the inside. They can also be on block. You can take this leg out a little bit wider. You can turn this hip, knee, and toe out to the side, external rotation. You can take forearms to blocks or to the floor. You can roll onto the edge of that foot. Good. Go where you can go. Again, try not to collapse here. Press that floor away from wherever it is that you're going. Your belly button, keep it pulled in. Keep it strong. Support that back. Breathe. Support the whole body with your breath. Return to that intention that you made. And then when you're ready, good. We will carefully take the hands back up. Take that foot down. Walk that foot and leg back in. Good. You're going to use blocks here for half split pose. Good. Bring that in. Find your length. Hip is over the knee. This leg can move a little bit more forward if you need to do that, but long torso here. And then if you've got more depth and you want to take it, you can take those blocks and hands more forward, keeping that length as you do so. And then when you're ready, good, we'll bring this back in. Good. And then from here, good, I'm going to bring this foot back in. We're going to come back onto our back. We're going to find that figure 4. Good. So now your right ankle is going to cross over the left. This might be it for some of you, or you can bring this in. Good. Upper body is grounded. You can rock it if you want to. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to prepare to flow as we make our way back up to dancer. So again, you can roll over to your side, come up, finding your down dog, or you can roll up here, coming all the way up, finding your down dog. Find it how you need to get there. And again, you can hang out here for a moment, or if you want to move through a belly down vinyasa, you can take that. From that down dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, and tension. Let's go into dancer and standing split for those of you that are going to go that route. So I'm going to get my blocks ready here for standing split in case I need them. So this time, right leg. So if you need a wall, you're going to stand with that wall on your right side. Right hip, knee, and toe track forward. Right arm is up. Left arm rolls back, bending that knee. Maybe this is it for some of you. Maybe you press back a little bit. Maybe you bind. Good. Knee's going to be into the midline. Good. You're going to take it back farther. Squeeze the left glute. Take the left foot straight back. You can stay there. You can come here. Good. And those of you that are going to move on to the standing split, carefully release. Taking that down, maybe the block or the floor. Good. Hips, knees, and toes. Track towards the floor. Good. The closer you take your hands to your foot, the harder you make it. Maybe you take one hand back there. And then when you're ready, good. Back leg's going to come up to meet the front leg. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Bending those knees. Coming all the way back up. Exhale, hands on heart center. Finding breath, mountain, intention. Good. So now we are all prepped and primed for split. So I am going to, let's just come down onto the ground for this one. Good. And there's a couple things here, ways that I'm going to show you to get into it. So those of you that know that you can't come into a full split, let me do that one first. So you've got your half split pose here if you want it. So maybe just start with the right leg forward. Good. And you can come, good, just like that. So that might be your split here. And there's nothing wrong with being there. And then maybe you play with a little bit, taking it out from here. Okay. I like a hard surface a lot because then I can use a blanket or something like that to slide out. And so that's what I'm just going to do here. Oh, I'll bring my bolster in here too, just to show. Good. So then from here, here's my break. Good. Right foot can be on that blanket. Good. And then you can just slide that out. Good. Finding your split. Now you'll see I do not come all the way to the floor. I'm not forcing myself to the floor. Please, God, don't force yourself to the floor if you're not ready for it. But there's some things you can do here. So some people can, stick a block or two under here. Some people fold blankets and put under there. Today, for me, I'm taking my bolster and putting under there. Good. Now I've got something that I can kind of relax on as I come up like this, but you don't have to release your hands. But sometimes that's just a nice place to be. So that's your split. And then whenever you're ready, in the way that's best for your body, you know your body better than anybody. Good. Carefully come out of there in the way that you need to for you. Okay. Now, I look pretty much the same on the other side, so I'm just going to leave my bolster there. So again, those of you that are going to come to the half split, just switch your side, and maybe this is you, okay? Hands on blocks, bolster, what have you. Others, you might take that on, coming forward. Maybe you're on block, bolster, what have you. I need at least one hand down on this side. Okay. So find it where you can find it. I've only, even after of all my years, I've only been able to do a full split a few times. It was always before COVID and always while I was teaching a class. It was never in my personal practice, probably because my mindset's different when I'm teaching versus when I'm personal practice. Good. So in the way that's best for you, carefully come back out of there. And then we're going to take a child pose here. I'm just going to kind of clear my space a little bit, roll my mat back out. So knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between, taking those arms long in front of you. Breathe, reconnect to yourself, that intention. And from here, when you're ready, good. We'll take the hands under the shoulders. Good. And we'll come up to a seat. We're going to come to a seated twist. I'm going to bring my blanket back in here to sit on. Good. So for this seated twist, I'm going to give you a little bit of guidance here. So if you want something to be gentle, maybe, your leg padded or what have you, you can just sit here, crisscross applesauce, and do the seated twist like we did in the beginning. Or you can follow me. I'm going to start by taking my left leg forward. My right foot's going to be in right here. So you can be right here. I've got about a fist width apart, or you can cross over. Both hips are grounded though. So just kind of choose. Good. And I'm taking my toes back towards my face. Good. I'm going to press in and find length. So my right leg is to cross over. So I'm going to twist to the right. You've got two things you can do. You can hold here. Your right hand can come behind. You can lift and twist. If you're a little bit more advanced, a little bit more open in the back without cranking, it's not about cranking. You can take that arm on the inside and find a twist there as well. So you just find it where you can find it. Always twisting from length, not from compression. And when you're ready, yeah, we'll come back to center and we'll switch sides. So if you did crisscross applesauce here, just kind of switch out those legs, put the awkward leg in front. Otherwise, right leg's going to come forward. Good. Your left foot can come in. You can stay here, or you can cross it over. Good. Find that length, toes towards the face. Right arm on the outside of that left leg or the inside. Left hand's going to come down behind you. Lift and twist. Breathe and expand. And when you're ready, we'll release and come back center. Good. Okay. From here, when you're ready, we're going to come onto our backs. So come onto your back. And as you come onto your back, I'm going to give you some options here. So the first option is freestyle bridge. So freestyle bridge means any bridge of your choice that's in your practice. So you can do a full back bend, you can do an ankle bind, you can do the hand clasp underneath, you can follow me through a basic. So if you're doing the basic, hip, knees, and toes are tracking. Good. I like to really press my arms and shoulders in here when I do the basic. I like that upper body engagement with my bridge. Helps me achieve a better bridge. I'm breathing. Good. From here, based on the bridge that you chose, carefully come out of the bridge. And then I'm going to let you also have a freestyle twist. So what that does that mean is any twist of your choice that's in your practice. So I'm going to do a single knee twist here, but you don't have to do that one. So I'm just going to start on my left side. Good. I'm going to twist over to the left, or twisting to the right as I look to the left. And then coming back to center. Good. Switch sides for your twist that you chose. And coming back to center. Good. Knees into the chest and squeeze. Good. Let's set up for a short Shavasana here. So you can let everything come long and fluff open. You can put a bend in the knees. You can be on your back, your side, your belly, whatever it is. Good. Since I happen to have my bolster with me today, I'm just going to bring that in for myself. Good. I'm just going to set myself up all nice and comfy here. And then once you get where you're going, good, I'll leave you here to settle in, coming back to your intention one final time. Taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently let the head and neck go side to side. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes. Choose stillness or taking knees into the chest. Choosing to keep the upper body grounded or maybe lift it up into a full body hug. And choosing stillness or moving any props out of the way if you used any during your Shavasana time. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips to the edge of the toes. Full body stretch, point and flex through the feet. Bend and stretch through the hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then when you're ready, bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over to your right or left side, the side that works best for you in this moment. Taking all the time that you need here. And when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat where we started. Noticing how you feel. Palms turn up. Inhale and reach. Exhale, dropping thumbs right at the forehead for good and true thoughts. To the lips for good and kind words. And to the heart for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted. No gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. May you have a wonderful day, evening, week, month, season ahead. Namaste.